Hi, Marilyn here with Cotton and Chocolate. Welcome to Saturday Sampler 2021. So glad that you're joining us. I'm here today to talk to you about our fig tree sampler with a twist. Welcome to all of you who have been with us before, and welcome to those of you who are new and are joining us for the first time. We're really glad that all of you are here today. So first of all, last year, and we had a dessert every month, and I'm not going to be doing a dessert every month, but you know, sometimes when I feel like it. But a lot of you know that my favorite desserts are brownies, and my favorite is my caramel brownie, chocolate chip brownie. And so I have to start this year off, this great year that it's going to be, yes it is, with that brownie. So here I have it. I have my brownie, and we'll have it posted online. It probably already is somewhere, but you'll get it. And I always bake from scratch, but this one is a mix, so it's even easier. And it has, you know, we have nuts in it. You can make it without nuts, and it has caramel in it and chips, and it's super low calorie, I guarantee it. And a little champagne to say cheers for the years, because it's going to be fun and good. And so cheers. It's always good to have a little champagne in your sewing room, and a really good brownie. So, it's so good. I wish you could have it, Jerry. Jerry's filming, you know, but, and a little Diet Coke in the back makes sewing so much easier and perfect. So, what we're doing is we're going to talk a little bit about the pattern you're going to get, how it works, how the filming goes. So, when you start, you're going to be getting your pattern. If you're getting it from the shop, we'll be giving you a nice little notebook. You'll get the pattern, but we're not going to hole punch it for you. I recommend you putting it in sheet protectors because they're printed close, so that way you don't lose anything. So you can do that on your own. And the beginning of the pattern will give you instruction from Fig Tree of how they do applique, how they piece. I'm doing some of the piecing differently, and I've changed up the pattern a little bit, and I've changed some of the instructions. So you know what? It's your choice. It's your quilt. You can elect to follow my instructions or barrel ahead with how they piece, but you have options, and I'll explain to you why I do it my way, and then make your own choices. Okay, but you have beginning instructions here, and then you get right into the monthly quilt blocks. And generally, we're making 2 blocks a month, but of course, we're getting 12 months done in 11 months. So you'll have a little bit of extra that I'll tell you when that happens, okay? But this month, we're just doing month 1, but we do have 2 blocks to do. Okay, so that's that. But as you know, here's the original quilt. And this is, well, a picture of the center of our colors. We'll get you a picture that has all the borders and everything, right, Jerry? And you're also getting our swatch page. So in the back of this, of your regular pattern, they have their swatch page and how it relates to every month. And then I have done it the same in generally how I've matched up the fabrics. But every month I'll tell you what we're doing, okay? So that way you don't get confused. And that's how I laid out the quilt. So here we go. These are the tools that I use, and I use these through the year, not every single month because you didn't need them, but these are the tools that make it work out perfect and make your blocks turn out really well. I am a technical piecer. I want things to turn out really nicely and perfect. I use this folded corner clipper. I'll show you how it works when you get to it. The block lock for half square triangles, so I make my triangles a little bit bigger and then cut them down to size. I like the 6.5 inch size. It's really versatile. And then the wing clipper for half square for flying geese. And again, you make them a little bigger and cut them down to size. So I love these 3 rulers. This is the Quilter's Magic Wand for marking your half square triangles. And then your pencil for marking. And of course, get a fresh blade so it cuts really easily. And check your seam allowance. And the easiest way to do it is cut 3 1.5 inch strips. Piece them like you normally do. Press them, and that center seam should measure a perfect 1 inch. perfect. No changes. And if it's not, figure out what went wrong. Was it your cutting? Was it your pressing? Did you get a little, you know, something not pushed in there? Or is it your seam allowance? Typically it's your seam allowance. So on my Bernina, yes, I have my 1/4 inch foot in, but I have to move my needle over once to the right. My needle moves, because if I kept it in the middle where the manufacturer has it set, my seam allowance is too wide. And my seams will be too wide, and consequently my block will turn out too small. So you must check this before you start this quilt, or all your blocks are going to end up the incorrect size if your seam allowance isn't correct. It should be a scant 1/4 inch that you're taking, so it accounts for that fold after you press it open. Okay, so check this before you get going so that you don't get frustrated. Okay, so enough of that. Let's get on to our blocks. So the first one that we're doing is block 1. Let me get my book out and I'll show you. So here it is, and it's on page 6. In block 1, we're making 2 blocks. First, we're doing the rolling stone block, and then we're doing the double pinwheels block. And I'll show you what the cutting is. And these are the colors, and in your sheet, you'll be getting the color chart so that it tells you what the orange ditzy is, but it also is on your swatch page. So this is the cutting for the rolling stone block. And it says from the orange ditzy, from your 3.5 inch strip, cut 4 3.5 by 2 inch pieces, and that's right here. Okay. From your black with circles, so if you look down here, your black with circles would look like this. You need to cut, from your 3.5 inch strip, cut a 3.5 by 2 inch and 4 3.5 inch squares. And that's right here. Okay, the next one is from the cream with black circles. This is different. I say refer, and I have an insert in your packet, refer to the swatch page and use green number 1. And on your swatch page, you have a list of some greens that I've inserted sporadically throughout the quilt. This is green number 1, and we gave you 1 square of it. And it's a, I believe it's a 3.5 inch square. It's already cut for you, okay? And then from your ivory solid, you need 16 2-inch squares. Okay, you have to cut a 2-inch strip off of what we gave you and 16 2-inch squares, okay? And so that's the cutting for your rolling stone block. Now when we get to the double pinwheels block, you need 3 fabrics. Again, you need the orange ditzy. You need to cut from the 3.5 inch strip, cut 4 3-inch squares, and you're going to cut them in half on the diagonal to get 8 triangles right here. So basically, I'm going to go backwards. For this one block, I keep them all together and I'll clip those together so that I'm ready to sew. So here you have your triangles, and then from the black solid. So the black solid, again, I made a change and I told you to use green number 2, and that's in your packet. And you're going to cut 2 3.25 inch squares and cut half on the diagonal twice to yield 8 triangles, 8 little triangles, and that's your B blocks. And then from the ivory, which is this one, again, cut 2 3.25 inch squares, half on the diagonal twice, and you get 8 triangles for your C blocks. So you're going to end up with these little triangles. So the blocks that we're making, the first block, which is the rolling stone block, is this block right here. You can see it, the rolling stones. And then the double pinwheels are right down here. One's here, they're the same. They look exactly the same, but they're right here and here on the block. And actually there's 3. There's another one. Oh wait, I'm sorry, it's right here. That's not those, forget that. It's here, there's a pinwheel, and there's a pinwheel, and there's a pinwheel. So we're only making 2 of those this time, and then we're making the other one in another month. with the same fabric. Okay, so those are cutting, and how this works, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I do a video on the cutting, and then my second video will be talking about the piecing for both of the blocks. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks.